So just want to talk a little bit about the common feedback that we often receive from customers who initially look at our platforms, and you know, when they come to us for help, the top point there being that you know, people tell us that they have hundreds of staff that they need to be, you know, that they need to give training to before an audit, whether it is that BRC or customer audit, and they just don't have enough time within that period for when their audit is due to deliver the large volumes of training itself. Now, we have an example of this. One of the customers came to us and they needed to deliver a training course, actually 2 training courses, level 2 food safety and level 2 health and safety, to 170 of their staff before their audit, and that was, you know, their audit was coming up in about a week and a half's time. So we were able to help them, and through the use of our technology, they were able to deliver 2 training courses to 170 staff across a 2-day period, and on the first day in the morning, and that was after the night shift, and then in the afternoon as well, but that was done across 2 days. So essentially we were able to deliver 340 courses across a 2-day period. People talk to us about the remote staff and how it's taken a long time for, you know, to get staff into the factory site to train them. You know, it's a full day's travelling, and the expenses that actually come with it, whether it be, you know, the expensive travel, or indeed if it's an overnight stay, depending on the course itself, then, you know, it can extend out to accommodation expenses as well. So we're going to show you ways that you can actually train them remote staff through the use of our technology as well. With some customers who talk to us about, or potential customers that talk to us about how they deliver, or they get a certified trainer in to deliver their training on their behalf. Then at the end of the course, the paperwork is sent off for marking or assessing by the examination bodies, and that can take quite a long process. As we know, it takes about 10 days for the results to come back for us. And if you've got an up-and-coming audit like in a week or, you know, week and a half's time, then that just doesn't fit with that time period itself. So we're going to show you ways that you know, you can remove that whole process of actually getting a certified trainer on site, and show you ways that we can help you to deliver them courses, the certified courses, through our own courses, to deliver yourselves in-house within your own training facility to multiple people along the way. And one of the major issues that people talk to us about is that when an auditor is actually on site, it's sometimes quite difficult to locate the relevant paperwork that they need, that the auditor is asking for, and they're up and down the factory floor looking for certificates to produce to the auditor, and you know, so they're in and out of filing cabinets. So we're able to show you how you're able to get this information at the touch of a button, very quickly, very swiftly through a tablet application itself. Okay, so the solution to help you address these particular issues are by way of our group learner and response point technology. Our group learner solution really is the online platform that you can get access to any courses that you have purchased, like e-learning courses that you have purchased from the Involve group that you might want to give access to e-learning, to your remote staff and that. And then the response point technology, if you can imagine yourself in a classroom environment where you are providing training to a group of people, and the response point technology really integrates with Microsoft PowerPoint, and it allows you to build in question slides within that PowerPoint presentation or induction or survey that you might be actually running at that particular time. And with the use of the keypads that you see, the little keypads there that you see, the trainees are able to answer their questions at that time, in real time, through the use of the keypads. It's a little bit similar to the Ask the Audience scenario in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. So, you know, again, that is the way that we're helping to deliver fast and easy pre-audit training. Now, as I mentioned, we have developed quite an extensive range of courses that are ready to go. You don't need to create you know, the content yourself, but we have the content ready to go, and I'll show you an example of some of this as we move on. But them courses are deliverable through 3 different mechanisms, and that is through the group learning session with the keypad technology, e-learning, so the ability to train your staff up from home or access it via a computer, and again through more modern technology, as a manager being able to take the course, download the course, take it out on site to a remote location like a farm that we talked about, and get the staff member to complete the training through the tablet. And when I come back on site again, then I have access to sync the information up onto the online account itself. Okay, but our solutions really go some way to encouraging that whole paperless training solution itself, whether it be to deliver training courses or inductions within the factory site. So what do you get within the online platform? Well, the Group Learner product, we've got 2 different versions of the product itself. One is, the first one there is our Group Learner Courses Edition, and that is exactly what it says on the tin. That really gives you access to all your online e-learning, and you know, it's the platform where you manage that e-learning itself and the courses that you actually have. We can also have integration with RespondPoint technology, and the whole solution itself really is a centralized location where you keep a storage of all your, you know, all the training courses that you have purchased from Involve Group, and you know, who has taken and completed them courses, who then has, you know, needs to take the courses, etc., etc. But we'll be able to show you that a little bit later in the live demonstration. We then have the Enterprise Edition, which is our full compliance management solution. So it gives you full document control, approval and sign off there. So the version control we have built within that platform that allows you to ensure that your staff are being trained on the latest version of documentation. We have an inbuilt training matrix that you're able to get access to and visibility to your compliance levels, and through the dashboard as well. There's no need for Excel with the training matrix. So we're able to show you how we can manage that automatically as people can complete the training. The matrix will be updated, so no need to go in and manually update that itself. We have excuse me, management reports and compliant dashboard that allows the senior management to get full visibility of compliance levels, risk levels, or the risk profile, so that they're able to see, okay, who is the biggest risk that we have at one particular time, whether that be through a particular individual who hasn't completed, you know, lots of training, or indeed a department or, you know, a manager that's responsible for a particular work group itself. So all that senior management reporting, and that comes through the Enterprise Edition. And of course, this really does, you know, with the automation within the platform itself, it allows us to remove the mountain of paperwork and allow you to have all your information stored in one particular area, a single central location that you can get access to your training, your certification, who's done what, who hasn't, rather than, okay, on one spreadsheet to manage the actual training, the paperwork stored in other filing cabinets, maybe in, you know, 2 or 3 filing cabinets that it can, you know, sometimes take a lot of time to actually get access to that information. These 2 products or versions are supported by our tablet application. So depending on the version, you have access to be able to perform your offline and remote learning. We know that a lot of environments don't actually have Wi-Fi, they're not Wi-Fi enabled areas, so you know, you can actually learn offline. You can do your training courses offline on the tablet, and then, as I mentioned, you know, sync the results up onto the learning platform when you get back onto a Wi-Fi enabled area. You've got paperless sign off, and again with the Enterprise Edition, you've got access to your documentation, all the management, documentation management, and the full training matrix as well, and the reports that are available within it. So just to give you a little bit of information about the courses that we have an extensive range of courses that we have here. For anybody that would like information about these courses, then my contact details, I'll put them up at the end so that you can pop me a little email. But certainly you can see there we've got level 2 food safety and health and safety. These are more popular courses in terms of preparing for an audit. So, you know, they're quite common itself, and I'll show you just an example of one of these a wee bit later on. But we do have different levels. We have the level 3 courses as well, that from managing HACCP and supervising food safety, and a lot of awareness and assessments that we actually have there as well. So this information, you know, if you wanted, I can easily get it to you. Okay, so at this point, I'm just going to pop into our platform to show you just how we can actually help you to deliver training to large volumes of people through our keypad system. I'll then look at creating and show you how to create a question slide that through our Respond Point technology integrates with Microsoft PowerPoint. So as you're delivering your inductions or your bespoke training, you're able to actually put questions into the course so that you don't have to sit down and mark them manually at the end of the course or the induction itself. I then look at how we can get access, instant access to results and certificates. So the example of your auditor on site, and they're looking for information, I can show you how we can easily access that information, get that information. And then towards the end, we'll have a wee look at what is possible with the tablet device as well. So I'm just going to, first of all, if I can control my technology, just pop out of here. I'm just going to log on to our group learner course player. Okay, so if you put yourself in the position where, or just imagine yourself there, you're in a training room or a training environment, and you've got all your trainees that are sitting ready with their keypads to complete the course. So, you know, this could be 5, 10, 20, 100, 150 people that you might want to sit through a particular course. But before the training, what you would do is to test the keypads. Each of them will have their own individual keypads. I have a couple of keypads here today that I'm going to use just for demonstrating our software and our technology. But you would test these first of all. You would also create a class list, the people, the attendees and the trainee, the list of trainees, who has got what class, or sorry, who has got what keypad, the number of keypad that they actually have there, etc., etc., so that the keypads tie up with the trainee itself. So I'm just going to open my folder of courses here, and you can see that I have actually bought a few assessments here, or courses from the involved group, and they're within my online platform, or within my platform, so I can use this to push the training out to the group environment. So I'm just going to select the health and safety in the workplace here. So if I open this particular course, now you'll hear the voiceover in this course as well, and then there'll be a section where it asks a question. I don't want to take you through the whole of the course itself because it is about 20 minutes long, so you know, it's just for the purpose of the demonstration that we will just run through a small portion of this to give you a bit of an example as to the course and the content and how it runs. So I'm just going to pop you into the course now.
Welcome to this course on health and safety in the workplace. This course has 8 short modules followed by an assessment. In this module, we will look at common accidents and why health and safety is important for all of us. We will introduce the ideas of hazards and risks and briefly look at health and safety law. By the end of this module, you will be able to name common accidents and ill health that occur at work, understand the factors affecting health and safety, state the difference between a hazard and a risk, identify who has legal responsibilities, state who enforces health and safety law. It should take you approximately 20 minutes to complete this module.
Okay guys, so as I say, I'm not going to take you through the whole 20 minutes of the course itself, but this is just a refresher question slide that we actually have built within the course. And this really just talks about, you know, what do you think the most common type of accident which causes people to be off work for more than 3 days. So they're told to select their answer using the keypads. Now I've, as I mentioned, got 2 keypads here. One of the keypads I'm going to select answer 1, the slips and trips, and the other one I'm going to do manual handling. So there we have got a grid going across the bottom. Now this tells us if I've got 15 people in the session itself, then each one of them needs to be blue before we move on to the next session, as we're facilitating the course. So as I've only got 2 keypads here, then I know that I can pop on to the next section. And there we have it. The answer to the question was option 1, which is slips and trips, and only for 50% that was one of the keypads that actually answered the question right, and the other one selected option 2. So that's just really to give you a bit of an idea as to how the course, the certified course, can be run in a group session in your training environment. I'll just exit out of that. What we would do after the course is run is to save the course and the results that actually come from that, so that they're available later on within the system, and I'll show you how that actually happens. Okay, so I'm just going to pop out of this and back to our presentation. The next one that we talked about was the create and respond point slide. So again, the people who you know, want to run inductions and that within their own group environment, again, we can integrate with PowerPoint, and I'm just going to show you how that all integrates. And again, I'm going to use the keypads a little bit through this session itself. So I'm just going to open a new PowerPoint. This is a slide deck, so I'm just going to put, for the purpose of the demo, test course. So that's our first slide. You will have all your own slides that you, of the bespoke inductions and courses that you have, that you've already prepared. So up here we're going to go to the respond point technology. This is the add-in here, and show you how we can actually add in the question slides. We've got 4 different types of slides: the standard yes, no answers, true or false answers, or the Likert, where it's purely an opinion, whether they strongly agree, disagree, etc. But I'm not going to take you through each and every one of them. I'm just going to add a couple of slides or a couple of questions here. The first one is, what day is it today? Please excuse any typos that I have in here. So I'm just going to put Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday as the options here. Now, what I can do here is to say, yes, this question does have a right answer, and it then prompts me to actually tick which box and which answer is correct. What I like to do when training is to supply, or to make sure that I view the right answers in green, and any of the wrong answers I'm going to display them in red, but you can use your own colour definition as to how you personally would rather that show. So this gives me the question, the answers, the multiple choice, and the right answer there. I can select how I want to display this information, whether it's a horizontal bar, a vertical bar, or a pie chart, and show the response counter or the grid going along the bottom, as we've seen earlier. So in this case, I'm just going to select the horizontal bar, and I'm going to insert the slide. It's as simple as that. Okay, the next one, I'm just going to ask a yes/no question, and this one is, do you like ice cream? You may have a more relevant question that you would want to answer, but it's purely a yes or no answer. You know, none of these answers are actually wrong, so we'll keep it as a no, that there's no correct answer to this question. And on this one, I'm going to choose to display it as a vertical bar. And again, I can change the color the colours of the you know, the bars themselves if I want to. But because this one is neither right nor wrong, I'll just leave it as it is, and I will just insert the slide there. Okay, so that's as simple as it is. You've added a couple of question slides there to PowerPoint, and now what we're going to do is to run the slideshow. Oops, beg your pardon. Run the slideshow and show you again how the keypads can work with your own bespoke content as well. So this is the PowerPoint slide deck, and the test course is the first slide. So our first question slide is, what day is it today? One of my answers I'm going to put Monday, and the second answer I'm going to put as Wednesday. So we can see there that my two keypads have answered the question. And here we can see the results bar. 50% have answered the right answer and 50% have answered the wrong answer. The next question, do you like ice cream? Well, yeah, we've both answered, and here we can see that the two of them actually like ice cream. So, so yeah, we're able to get the answers to the questions as we go along the course itself. Now, there's one key thing to remember here is that this is really useful in terms of being able to assess the content that you are delivering through the training course. And what I mean by that is that, you know, you sometimes, you know, you can't really assess how much knowledge that people are retaining or how appropriate the content is, because, like, you know, we've no way of gauging through the training course the answers that the people are providing unless we walk around and look at each specific answer. And it's only at the end of the training course, or the induction or survey, that we're able to get a correlation of that information. So we're able to now actually, whilst we're delivering the course, if I have 90% of my people or my trainees who have answered the question wrong, then there's a likelihood that there's something a little bit skew with about the content, or I haven't maybe delivered it properly, and I might want to revisit that again and actually go back, you know, and recover that particular point or message that I'm trying to put across in the section itself. So that's very useful in terms of how appropriate your content is and the knowledge that is being retained by the trainee themselves. Okay, so that shows us how we're able to create our questions slides through our Respond Point technology to insert into our inductions or bespoke training, so that we can remove the need to answer them or mark them, should I say, at the end of each training course. The results that are provided to these courses via the keypads are instantly uploaded and will be uploaded onto the platform. We again can save the data file. So this is the results and the results that are uploaded for then you know, future viewing down the line. Okay, so that covers off that particular point. What I'm going to show you now is how we can get access, instant access to the results of training courses, and that example when the auditor is actually on site and they're looking for a certificate, then I can give you access or show you where we can get access to view that. So I'm just going to pop now into the learning platform. This is the online account. I'm just going to log in as an administrator here. So I've got full access to this particular account, and what we'll see here is an area. I'm just going to pop into the demo accounts and launch our courses only, our courses edition. So this is essentially the platform itself, and as you log on and administer the platform or your account, then this is the first screen that you'll see. There's a few different areas. If you think of this as you know, a platform that's storing information about different things, the Learning Manager side, well, that's all about your courses and your reports and your dashboard. But I'll pop back to that in a second. I just want to show you where you can actually create your directory. So this is a directory of all your employees. You may have this information in Excel format, of which we can populate and update into the system for you, upload that into the system. So, you know, you're ready to go with your employees straight away. If we actually look at some of the details here, what we're able to do is to actually build up training plans for the employee itself as part of their training and development plan. So here we've got a little bit of information about the employee. We've also got the ability to add a photograph. Here is their training plan of where I'm going to now get access to the certificate for this particular for this particular training course. So the auditor's asking me for the certificate. I can go in and see that, okay, Kia has actually completed the food safety course itself. He completed it on the 2nd of June. He was on keypad number 2 and his score was 100%. We can actually see the answers that he's given to this particular course. So these are the questions within the course, the correct answers, the answers that Kia has provided. Of course, they were all correct, so each one is marked correct. I then can view the certificate, so at the touch of a button, no need to run up and down the factory floor looking for the certificate. And there you have it, the certificate that is available to impress your auditors with as well. Okay, so again, keeping this information centrally stored in one area. I can also view the signature, the sign off to that particular course that Kia has done it. And this is a copy of the class list for that particular course, and we can always have access to the sign off also. So that really just shows us the how we can get instant access to the information that we want. I can there, as I say, within Kia's training plan, see that he's got 3 different courses there that have been assigned to him. 2 is still within the grace period and 1 has been completed. I can manage his training plan from here, and let's say I've purchased, let's say an introduction, CIEH, introduction to health and safety. Let's say I've purchased a license of that from the involved group, then I can also add that to Kia's plan, save the update, and it then appears in his training plan within the grace period itself. Now the grace period is really where you're allowing someone to have a certain amount of time to actually complete this particular training. So it pops into the grace period itself. They shouldn't, they shouldn't actually go straight into not completed. So, so that's really how we manage the training plan and that as well for the training courses that we need to allocate to the employees. If I just pop into, actually, before I start the personal account, we talked about the 3 delivery methods for our learning, being our group learning session. So in the classroom, delivering training to multiple people, large volumes of people, 5, 10, 20, 100, whatever. And then you have your e-learning delivery as well. So this is where you can pop the email with the link to the e-learning to the member of staff who can conclude this at home. Now, when they log in, they will only see this particular tab here, the personal account. And what they will see is the courses that have been allocated to them, so that then they can go over and just launch. There's a little launch button at the right hand side, but because I'm logged in as an administrator, I don't actually have any courses assigned to me, so which is why I don't see anything here. But that just explains the personal account there. And our learning manager, this is really our dashboard and our management area, or sorry, our reporting area. So here we can see through the dashboard we have a total course pass rate here, so it shows me how we're running now at 72%. That really just gives us the total pass rate for the courses. We can see here the monthly course usage, so we can see the different stages that I have actually delivered training. The first one there was June 2015. I delivered 8 training, March 2016, 2 training sessions, and in June of this year we had actually run 11 sessions, training sessions there, or training courses should I say. So this here down at the bottom gives us information about the course pass rate. With the level 2 food safety and manufacturing there, for example, the pass rate, the average pass rate there is 86%, and this is where you can control your licenses. So we can see here that we've got 41 remaining licenses of the level 2 food safety within that particular plan. But I want to take you to the the manager's reports. So this is where we're able to see a little bit more information as to how compliant we are, etc. If I actually look at, let's say if I take the group learner course report and show you that for, let's say, the food safety there, because we have 19 people that have completed that particular report, I can look at this report and it shows me, okay, that I have 19 people complete the course, 2 not completed, and 1 within the grace period there. Gives me a little graphical pie chart there, broken down to the percentage, and further on down it gives me the employee details, who has actually completed the course, who hasn't, so that if I'm running the next training course in session in a group environment, I know exactly where to go and find the trainees for that particular course. So again, it gives us good management reporting that allows us to manage our training plans effectively. Okay, so that really is how we're able to get instant information, instant access to the results and the certificates, and show you a little bit about the management reporting side and the dashboard that you actually have within your online account as well, and how that can help you in terms of managing your whole compliance there. I'm just going to pop back now to the presentation. I am very conscious of the time, and just to keep it within the time slot that we had, I want to show you our tablet app. So this is where, again, if you can visualize, we have the tablet where we're able to take out onto the factory floor. We have, let's say, a member of staff that's on downtime at the minute. They work on a production line where the piece of machinery that they work on has actually broken down, and there's an engineer technician actually looking at it. So there's a bit of downtime there. We can get access to their training plans, the employee training plans, so we can see, okay, what training could they be completing here and now on the spot through the tablet, to make best use of that downtime itself. So, we're able to actually get that information, launch the course from the tablet, and the staff member conclude the course, and it really helps us to keep up to date and keep ahead of the game in terms of our training and plans, and to manage them training plans for your manager as well. This also gives us a bit of an idea, access again through the tablet for a manager who has got a certain amount of staff that they're responsible for. We can see here that Andy Anad has got he's 33% compliant in terms of the training that he has been allocated within his training plan. He has been assigned, he has been assigned 15 courses. He's completed 5 of them, and 10 of them are outstanding. So again, that goes to they assess the level of compliance there. If we look further down the line, we can actually see William Burke at the bottom there. He has got 5 courses assigned. He hasn't done any of them, so 5 outstanding. So in terms of an audit and an auditor coming on site next week, then William Burke's probably going to be and likely to be, a bit of a risk area for you. So you might want to think, okay, you know what, I can get William to complete all of these 5 courses without having to bring him into a training course in a classroom environment. I can get him to launch these courses directly from the tablet itself, and complete the training through the tablet, so that he is 100% compliant when the auditor hits my factory floor. Okay, at the moment we actually support in tablets, iPad and Android is the preferred solution for your tablet, and this just shows you in terms of William launching a course here. If he's got food allergen and labelling awareness course assigned to him, then he can run through the course and complete the course as we discussed earlier. Okay, so that really does conclude the online demonstration itself, a live demonstration of the platform. Hopefully that will have showed you how we, in terms of our technology here at the Involve Group, have been helping other food companies and manufacturing companies like yourselves to address that whole area around fast and effective delivery of large volumes of training, and how useful our technology is in way to address that. So the questions, again, I'm very conscious of the time. I've got you know, a few questions, quite a few questions that have come in, you know, at earlier stages and that. But John, you have asked how many people can I train at once? I'm taking that means you know, in a classroom environment. With the keypad technology that we have, the little receivers will take back the responses from 150 keypads at the one time. So hopefully that will be suffice. But if you need to run 2 sessions in different let's say two different sites at the one time, you can actually do that, but you'll need 2 keypad systems to do that. So hopefully that will have answered the question for you there, John. Sorry. Alan, you're asking how much does the level 2 food safety course cost? Our courses, as I say, is a range of awareness, introduction, level 2, level 3 courses, and they range between £7.50 to £150 for the level 3, but our level 2 food safety courses, any level 2 food safety courses are £15 each, and that's £15 per course per candidate. Miranda, you have asked, just bear with me a second. Oh, sorry, can an employee complete training at home? Yes, they can. This was one of the earlier questions that was answered, so hopefully I will have showed you how that we can do that through the personal account. So we can send the email out with the log on to the course that we've purchased, the e-learning course that we've purchased, send the login details to the employee, and they can complete it in their own time at home through their own computer, or even indeed through their iPad by just clicking on the URL. So hopefully that answers that, Miranda. Thank you for that question. We also have Sean there. How can I get a certificate when an auditor is on site? Sean, again, that was one of the earlier questions. So just for the purpose of very quickly showing you this again, if I go into the directories and again visualize yourself with a tablet, this is the best way and the quickest way to do this, so that you don't have to go to a computer in your office. Making use of the tablet is a great way to get that information very quickly to the auditor. So if I go into Kia's record, show the details, and then I have the option to go into the training plan, the completed course that he has done here, and I can view the certificate directly from his plan. Again, we've got the questions, the answers, view the certificate, and this is the, as I say, the quickest way. And auditors are very impressed at the thought of being able to do this, you know, whilst on site. And I think it, you know, definitely would give you some plus points in terms of how they perceive your, I suppose, culture within the company in terms of your whole food safety. So, and again, if they need to sign off to that, then they have the ability to look at the class list and the signatures there for the group session as well. Okay, so again, guys, very conscious of time. Hopefully they will, I've got, you know, quite a few more questions, but to keep it to the time slot, I will follow up with each of you to answer any questions that you might have. And, you know, for anyone that wants to maybe, you know, look at this further, explore it further, there's contact details there. I will leave this slide up on the session for a couple of minutes afterwards. But if you want to book a one-to-one demo, you know, certainly you can do that through the URL there. And my contact details are there, my email address. If you have any questions, would like information, you know, the catalogue, anything, a copy of the slides, a recording, etc. of today, then feel free to pop me an email. And for anyone who is interested in our next webinar we have coming up on the 15th of June at 11:30, then we have our compliance training matrix made easy, where we really aim to again address and resolve the issues around managing your training matrix on a spreadsheet format. So, you know, perhaps you'd like to join us then. But all that remains for me to say is thank you very much for joining us today. We hope you found it useful, and you know, we look forward to chatting to you in due course. Thanks very much for your time. Have a good day.